Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to Spartan Theology. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on real quick. I don't know how long I'm gonna get to stay on, but I just wanted to jump on and kind of update, do a little channel update, say thank you to everybody who comes by and who subscribed. We hit 1,000 subscribers, and that's super cool. So, yeah, so I just really wanted to say thank you. I'm trying out this green screen thing. It's not looking so hot, so. But my background, we just moved. So my background is pretty plain, as you've seen, if you've seen the last couple of streams. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, put them in the chat. I'm kind of just like I said, I just wanted to jump on, say thank you to everybody. Just kind of, if anybody wants to join me, let me know. I can shoot you a link and I can get you in. But yeah, just kind of, what do we got? We got next week. I can update you next week. I have Dr. Yeah, this looks like I'm in heaven. Thanks. Yeah, I wanted to try the green screen. Like I said, it's not so great. Oh, Sentinel Apologetics. Yeah, Sentinel Apologetics. Hello, Apocalypse here. Hello. He wants me to put his office background up. I could do that real quick. I don't know if I still have. Dun, 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 dead air, dead air. No. But like I said, next week we have Dr. Maggie Bryson, which I'm super excited for. I think that's going to be a really cool stream. We're going to be talking about. Boom. Yeah, now I'm in John's office. Oh, this one works better. I should have been doing this last time. I took over Apollo's here channel, if you're not aware. But, yeah, last week, I think it was. Yeah, where we had Dr. Chris Keith. That was really, really good. If you have any thoughts on any of the previous streams, Chris Tilling, Chris Keith, you know, any of these past streams I've done, you could put them in there. Any thoughts, questions, comments, critiques. If you want to join, John, yeah, I can. Dun, dun, dun. I'll shoot you the link on Twitter. Or I can put the link in here. Either way. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah. Um, you missed it. I don't know what you missed. Or maybe you're talking about the stream. Or maybe you're talking about something about Dracula that you said. I was not quite sure what you were getting at. There, I just put the StreamYard link in the chat if anybody does want to join. I can. Yeah, sorry. I'm like trying to. It seems I've seen people do stuff like this on the fly, like while they're live, kind of like change things around and whatnot. And I'm not quite sure. Okay, last week's stream. Yeah, yeah. If you missed it, you should definitely check it out. I think last week's stream. I mean, I like a lot of my streams, but I really, really enjoyed talking to Dr. Keith. Thank you. Cease to know. Thank you for 1,000 for the congratulations. Yeah, I really appreciate it. You guys hit 1,000 recently. That was really cool. You guys hit a lot faster than I did, but oh, Christ Thinker, nice, nice. Yeah, and if you're here, hit the thumbs up. That'll definitely help. And like I say, if you have any questions, something, just comments, whatever. Uh, yeah, hold on. You're not actually in the stream. I'm trying to. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to. Da. This shouldn't be that hard. I can hear you. You can hear me, right? Yes. Yeah. John's here, everyone, but you can't see him. Only I can. Because I'm cool like that. Yeah, I don't know how people do this stuff like on the fly. I'm like, oh, it'll be easy, but what is going on? Yeah, you're back. It'll be better once you get in here too. Oh, there we go. Close, close. Oops. Yeah, so how are you doing? Yeah. Now it's good. Son of a gun. I know that was the problem.
Son of a gun.
Whoa, we're having issues here, people. I'm like, it's tripping out. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Yeah, this is amateur hour. Now there's no video.
Yes.
This amateur hour. I shouldn't have been so confident in myself. I'm like trying to. It's dumb. I don't need to explain it. I just need to fix it. It's like the entertain the people even though they can't hear you or see you. I don't think. They might be able to hear you.
Can people hear me?
Not
Welcome
sure.
to Spartan Theology.
Yeah.
We've got a great stream tonight.
This is where. This is why the people subscribe for sure. I might like leave this
Yeah.
StreamYard, but I'll be right back.
What's up, everyone? Leave your questions in the chat, the live stream chat, and I'll answer them like I'm Spartan Theology. So.
There, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, now I can't hear you.
Amateur hour. You can hear me now.
Yes, I can
Okay.
now.
Yeah, they can hear both of us. They just can't see us. So we're making progress, people. Don't you worry.
You can probably hear Laura in the background
That's what I
too.
was about to say, yeah. What in the world? Oh, here we go. We are killing it now. See, I figure I'll get 1,000 subscribers and I'll do a stream so bad that I'll lose them all. Ooh, now you're muted.
Yeah, that was my fault. You're gonna lose like 500 after this. Yeah. Just back to yeah.
You can, I thought this was a Bitcoin channel with that graphic. Yep, new Spartan coins. All the Spartan shekels are
Spartan shekels.
Our actual Bitcoin or block.
Yeah. They're now Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Can people see us now, you think?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I just assumed you knew.
No. Yeah, awesome. Welcome. We're in the same room together right now, and
I keep forgetting I still
we're in the same spot somehow. So that's cool. And
yeah. I'll go back to heaven.
That actually looks pretty good. It looked better than the
Yeah, this is a different one. This is like I can have Karl Barth behind me.
Just looming over your shoulder. Oh yeah. Look, just one eye. I like that.
This one's kind of cool. It's like some random church in the middle of the mountains.
Ooh.
We'll go with this one.
It's like an emo album cover.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that.
My background is hilarious. Yes, it changed, so I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but
Oh no, the church one that you've got right now. It's like a like depressing rainy day.
No, I know. I was Elver's comment that he said was hilarious.
Oh, I can't see comments, which sucks. I don't know why.
Because I'm not actually like streaming.
Oh, you're not going through
StreamYard. Whatever, StreamYard or whatever.
So I'm gonna have to look at those.
Yeah, you gotta do it manual.
I have to keep up with this.
Make your background your babies. I actually don't have a picture of my babies on my computer. I probably should say that. Am I a bad person?
Oh, I have another question about my shirt, which I'm so thankful about because I've just been wearing this constantly because I'm pretty much every day.
Just pretend like you have a lot of them, but
no, yeah, I have a lot of the same black metal prints. Did I just go away for you?
No, you're
okay. Yeah, so metal theologian
Christ thinker, Spartan Shekels to the moon.
to the moon.
Elon Musk will get a hold of it and it's all over.
Oh, this is a shirt that's from a band called Cloud Kicker. They're a ambient post rock band that is not at all black metal, but they did this lovely print. And here you can see possibly we've got a space demon there. And then you have an astronaut shooting that space demon.
Nice.
So that's the print. That was great. So I like when bands put out shirts that don't cohere with like the sound of their music. I'm always like quick to be like, yeah, this is hilarious. I'm gonna get this. And then people ask me about it, like, oh, are you into like super heavy stuff? It's like, yeah, but also this is not that at all. This is
It requires a lot of explanation.
Yeah, right. It's a good it's a good conversation starter, you know.
Just like the cool. Never mind. Not even...
All this is to say, I'm just really cool. I'm just like into the scene, just in general. So
yeah, I got
Yeah.
Ray. I don't know how to say his last name, Oshima, but making fun of my Houston Texans shirt, which is perfectly reasonable because
it's understandable for sure. Yeah.
I live in Houston, and I went to Clemson, so I was like a huge Texans fan, but pretty much let me down. And
Yeah. I'm glad you're. I think at one point you had, in some stream, you had a Houston Astros shirt, which I wasn't happy about.
The Trash Stros.
The Trash Stros. Yeah.
They're trash.
But
can.
yeah.
Yeah, Travis is in the chat. Eddie with Brute Facts podcast.
Hey Eddie.
Yeah, I got my other buddy
What's up, man?
Dan, who has that Dear Christians podcast. He sent me a coffee mug that's really cool. It like changes colors when you put hot coffee in it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like show that off, but I'm like a terrible friend and never have it next to my desk when I'm on live.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time. We can do it on our on the recording we're gonna do coming up.
It's probably the worst time to try and just shill some random thing because if I'm gonna edit, isn't the whole point? Like,
Well, you can edit it. Like it can be like it can
isn't the
show
whole
up like
point
in its
to, like-
own frame, like occasionally, and then just progressively get filled more going on. Yeah.
randomly have it in the corner, like
Yeah.
slow motion without
Right.
a reference at all. Just a coffee mug
Yep.
changing from black to
No
white.
comment. Yeah, no comment on it.
I'm sure he'll get tons of traffic to his podcast.
Yep, of course. Of course. Yeah.
John's lit AF, according to Elvier.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Don't shoot the.
Why does
speaker.
John? Why does John get high on these from Elvier?
It's not even like are you or anything.
No,
like,
it's just
wow.
it's just assuming that I am. Elvier, I'm not high on these. That said, I'm not opposed to being high on these, but this is just a
This is a serious.
this is just a vape. It's a Juul. I'm like a 16. I'm a 16-year-old who.
If you're supposed to like hide under the
Yeah.
desk or something to do it.
No, I'm just open about it now.
Well, if you were 16,
Yeah.
you gotta like go to the back.
Yeah, right. You gotta like. Well, what you gotta do is like it's this. You got like a book in front of you, and then you like go into
It's
it.
just like smoke coming out of the book.
Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
you're
Let me
interviewing
get
that
some.
guy next week.
There you go.
I
Yeah,
just
but
smoked.
it's just because it's better than smoking cigarettes, I think, and don't want to be chain smoking on here, so I did that for years before. Yeah,
Chain smoke on my live.
don't smoke, kids.
Yeah, don't do it.
Any Any young people who are on, don't smoke.
If you're a young person watching,
If you are, just do it in moderation. If you do drugs, just, you know.
in
I'm
the
not a
back of
pastor
the
anymore,
home.
so I can, give this sort of advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
People are supposed to have questions in the chat, but they're just talking random nonsense. But that's good too.
Yeah, I noticed that Eddie vapes too. Eddie's got like a fucking. I should have said that. Eddie has a friggin'. He's got like a big one.
They always called those mods or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still. It's Metal Theologian. Smoking is cool.
Smoking is cool. This is not the messaging we want
Yeah,
after
come
1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, come on. This is serious Christian production here.
Does anyone have questions about things
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, aren't like vapes or
yeah,
my Texan shirt.
about theology,
mugs.
about,
Yeah.
Bible stuff, things that Ethan's done,
Yeah,
things
are
that I've
coming
done.
out.
Because we've done a lot together recently. So,
Yeah. Your confusing stream about Analogia Intus or something. I don't know.
yeah, that was really fun. I mean, it
actually
was pretty.
wasn't as
It was
confusing as.
no, it involved a lot of sort of technical discussion, but I think we ended up getting to a place where it was, somewhat understandable, and that people could track with. It's a pretty. It's gotten pretty decent views already, which I'm happy about. But
No, that's good. Elvira, how does it feel to be a big YouTube stud now? Well, I wouldn't know because I'm not, but
not yet.
yeah,
Not yet is the response.
not yet. Yeah, soon enough. Soon enough.
Oh my god.
What happened? Why are you two so gay for Paul? Is that the
Yikes.
I mean, he's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah. Interestingly put, Eddie. I think if that's a serious question, minus the the way that you phrased it, I think that Paul is, for better or for worse, someone who has influenced the history of Christianity in a way that I don't think anyone else really did, minus Jesus. But I think what we now know as Christianity, especially Christians who are living in the Western world, we're so influenced by Pauline theology in a way that if it weren't him, it would be a very different, it would be a very different development. It would be a very different sort of theological account of Christianity that we would have. And again, for better or for worse, there are lots of, damaging ways that this is developed. There are a lot of harmful ways to read Paul's texts, and I'm interested in recovering what Paul is actually saying and what he was actually saying to his initial hearers. And also, I think he has a lot of good stuff to say for us today. So,
And it's like the single most, information. Obviously. There's no other,
yeah, and the way that
amount.
and the way that he, quite practically, he takes up about 3/4 of the New Testament in terms of his writing, right? So he's significant in that way, but just simply in terms of the way that things developed, I think Paul is quite important. I also just think he's a good theologian. I think he has a really incredible brain from what we can discern from his letters. Yeah, he's a sharp thinker, and there's no it's no wonder that modern philosophers have found him important for thinking through certain philosophical issues. Like we have people who are constantly, especially in the continental tradition, going back to him, whether they're atheists or agnostics or Christians, going back to him and his insights. So, yeah. Yeah.
Good answer. I pretty much agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah. I saw Eddie over here saying Aquinas is greater than Paul. I don't really. That doesn't even make any sense. Come on now, Eddie. Without Paul, probably no gospel.
Yeah,
Mark.
yeah. I agree. I agree
Really?
with that, actually. I think
Okay.
Joel Marcus actually wrote a great piece on this about the relationship between Paul and Mark's gospel. And I think whoever it is that wrote Mark is loosely a Pauline Christian. I think there are theological connections there that are unavoidable. And yeah, I think in principle I would agree with that. That without Paul, you don't have Mark.
So then you don't.
As we have it now, Mark as we have sort of Mark's gospel now. Yeah.
So you think it was like a, I don't know. Like, are you saying there was something there, and then somebody like, I don't know. Why do you say like why? What's that qualification for?
Which one?
Like the gospel Mark as we have now, or whatever. Like, what do you?
Oh, I just mean Mark's gospel as we know it.
Well, maybe the person who wrote Mark would have wrote something different. You're saying?
Well, I mean, in certain ways, but I was just making a distinction between I don't want to say that we have initial copies of Mark, like we don't have Mark's gospel.
Okay.
Initially,
Yeah,
so that was the distinction.
I see.
It was more of a sort of historical and
I see.
manuscript point, but yeah, I think it's quite likely that Mark was a Pauline Christian.
I've never.
And yeah, Nick is on here.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, Allison's dissertation does touch on that. Yeah.
Okay. Why Karl Barth? Eddie, you're gonna get blocked here soon. This is just getting bad.
Why Karl Barth? He denies natural theology. Yeah, I mean he does, but he. Oh boy.
I sent Eddie the Mary Healy paper, so until he reads it, I'm not talking.
I think it'd be good to watch the stream that I did with Samuel too, and also
one?
and also I did a stream on natural theology as well. It's a specific target. It's not just saying that knowledge from the natural world is bad. Claiming some sort of understanding about God from the natural world through the natural world is bad. That's not what's at issue. What's at issue is when you build your account of God fundamentally from self-evident truth that you derive from nature, foundationally, and then proceed to, construct your account of God and theology and all of that on top of it. So what's the controlling thing is what you've derived from nature instead of, the gospel, which is Jesus Christ, in the light of which we can understand where God is showing up in the natural world, where God is revealing God's self through, a dead dog, as Bart would say, or through certain lights in nature. The dead dog example is kind of, hyperbolic, but yeah, I'm not opposed to thinking about the natural world in terms of mediating God's presence. I am concerned, and I think Bart was concerned with erecting our own understanding of what's around us as fundamentally informing the meaning of who God is, because that gets you into horrible trouble, right? Because that's what he was seeing. I mean, he was seeing that all around himself politically. Because Nazis, the German spirit is just where God is. We can see it. It's around us. Our culture tells us that this is what God is like, right?
Yeah, it's really hard to like think about like theology in its like own cultural context on top of like cultural context of Bible and everything else, but to like to really like consider like Bart's thoughts in his time or whatever, which is very important. What you're touching on, it's hard to, it's something that just I don't know. You really, it's hard because we're just thinking about these ideas like separately or whatever.
Right.
And that's not the way it works. I mean, he was obviously influenced by what was happening around him.
Right. And in some ways that kind of limits his kind of responses, and in some ways it actually deeply and like significantly informs what he's doing, and in that way that can be kind of a guide for us, where like, you know, with Christian nationalism in our present context, where are we erecting certain parts of our culture and our politics back onto God, right? We see this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This happens just, I mean, reading the news every day, like we're projecting all of that stuff onto God. So I think he's helpful for detecting those sorts of moves that we tend to make. Yeah. I thought I saw...
Over asked, do you like to stir up the pot at your church? That's something I feel like I did more like a year ago.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
And, yeah, I think that's a pretty good question, though, because I think a lot of people like kind of face that as they start to like study these things and whatnot. We got Rob in here, too, but... Oh, you messed everything up, Rob. I gotta fix the cameras, but... Yeah, I think as people start to like study and whatnot, it gets to a challenge to like relate and not like be super nitpicky with like sermons and whatnot. But I think I've come to a place that's much more healthy. But I don't know what's going on. Rob and John are here, but not here. No, John's back.
Hey guys. Yeah, I'll just turn the
Hello.
camera on in a moment.
You're good.
I'm doing alright, man. Hey, Ethan, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't ignoring you.
1,000 subs. Is that basically the meaning that the millennium is over now? So we move on to new things.
I've been working hard at this, and now the world's just gonna end or something. So
yeah.
My mic's still too low, Eddie. You're out of your mind. Maybe everybody else is just too loud. Is that better, Eddie? Oh, I bet that's better. But my boy Rob, yeah, Christ Thinker. Dun, dun, dun. I saw another one. Oh yeah, Eddie. I think I was like more of a joke over here, trying to say the entire New Testament is pre-70 AD. No mention of Jesus' temple prophecy. No mention of worse atrocity against Jews. Like, isn't the entire like 70 AD like what Revelation is about? It's kind of the way I understand it.
Sorry, I'm getting text. My bad.
No,
what's
you're
up,
good.
Rob?
Hey, John. God bless you.
You too, man.
I'm alright.
I can't stay on very long, by the way.
Yeah, I can't
see
sound too long at all.
We're gonna do some more packing.
Packing?
Yeah, Laura and I are moving to Virginia.
Ah.
Laura got a job at Ferrum College it's near Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah.
And so she'll be teaching religion and also serving as the campus minister there. So it's a big deal for us, and a lot of new stuff for us coming soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really excited and thankful that this happened. So
Well,
yeah.
Well, praise God for that. Do you
Thank
guys
you.
want to know something really interesting and uncanny? So wait, so Ethan, you're moving as well?
No, well, I just moved like 15 minutes away. Just basically, we got a house. We got out of our apartment.
Okay. So guess what? I'm also moving.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Where to?
Yeah. About an hour up north.
Okay.
To a new place, just building brand new. The house I've been in this house with my folks and extended family, like in this neighborhood, since '97,
Okay.
and it's now become a very good suburb. It's practically right next to the beach. It's this type of those beach suburbs, and there's a whole new suburb called Eden Beach, and next to that is called this. It's called Trinity Suburb or something. So there's like a lot of like biblical names.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Where are you at in Australia? I'm forgetting.
Perth's WA.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you have Perth City, but then like 30 minutes north of Perth City along the coast, you have what's called Hillary's Boat Harbor, and yeah, I'm in that area, and then another hour up from there is a whole new settlement because guess what? The population's expanding,
Yeah.
and we need more room, and so might as well just start fresh.
Sure.
Yeah.
How you feeling about it?
Initially, it was quite daunting, but
Yeah.
I've always been that independent type. Like, I love, I guess, the adventure of. I mean, I'm used to this sort of thing anyway, like moving around, and so. But I guess I haven't anchored, like moved in an anchored way, like I know I'll be up north for
Mhm.
easily another 10 years, maybe more. So. But yeah, the process is hard work, and I can understand. I can understand what you're going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane trying to move and have two twin babies to deal with too at the same
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if
Nick
you
in
did
the
it,
chat.
we can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Nick in the chat said, I'm moving too, mostly to the fridge and back, but, I thought that was pretty good.
Nice, Nick.
Yeah, dad joke. But Eddie was
Yeah.
being serious about his 70 AD question. I thought that was just like, not even like conservative scholars would hold to the entire New Testament being pre 70 AD.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I just didn't even know that was like a.
Yeah.
I don't know.
even
I
know
haven't,
if I'm
like-
answering that.
It's like, I just haven't thought about specific.
I've got a head, guys. Sorry to head as you just got on, Rob, but
it's all
Yeah,
good.
no.
I hope to talk to you soon. Maybe do a stream together at some point soon once things
Yeah, I've
kind
been-
of settle down for me and
Yeah,
Laura.
man.
But
That's
yeah,
the three of us. It's been a long time since the three of us
Yeah.
chatted. So
for sure. It's good to hear your voice, man. And congrats again, Ethan.
Thank you.
Take care.
So yeah,
gotcha.
I gotta fix the stupid cameras again. I'm like capturing it on OBS, so every time they move around, it gets messed up.
Right. Hey man, thanks.
Boom.
Thanks so much
Yeah.
for the those thumbnails.
Oh yeah, I like making them
I
in there.
don't know if do you want to share it with folks?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
if you
that's
made
fine.
those or-
Yeah. I've shared it with some people, but yeah, the past couple of like Matt Powell response. Oh no, you haven't put the second one up yet, right?
No, I'm nearly finished with that. Like I'm
Yeah.
typing up the transcript and then I'll record it and make it. But
Yeah, there's
I
been
just
some-
love the little like speech bubble.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but dinosaur blood.
dot dot dot.
Yeah. I'm probably not gonna stick on too long, but I just really wanted to like, jump on. I don't know how long. I got this like baby monitor right next to me, so who knows when this thing's gonna start going off, and it's my shift. They're just sleeping, but.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if anybody's got any more questions. I'll probably stay on for like till like 45 minutes, so like another 10 minutes or so. But yeah, I think you'll. Oh, I know I messaged you, Rob, the other day about talking about like Exodus stuff or whatever. I'm gonna have that Dr. Maggie Bryson on, who's like
Oh yeah, I forgot to get
Doctor-
back on that.
Yeah, no, I never really got back to you either. I've been just super busy, but
What specifically? That's the thing. When you messaged me about that, I thought, hang on, is there
yeah.
anything you need? Like, like, because I was also confused by that. Was there something that?
No, it wasn't so much. I just kind of wanted to I want to have her like interact with some of David Falk's stuff, just
Ah,
because they're on like
oh,
such different sides of the coin, or like so I met her through Dr. Josh,
mm,
so she's like very like what yeah she's like gonna make a presentation on she's a studies new kingdom Egypt
mm,
or whatever,
yeah,
and she's gonna make a case to why like the historical situation would lead to like the Exodus not being as described in the Bible, not being
right.
a probable
You
historical
have
event.
you have you had Falk on your channel?
No, I need to
No.
get him on. Yeah, it's just like
Mm,
the whole history stuff is just like I'm so much more. I know so much more about like New Testament studies and stuff. I
mm, yeah.
just don't. Not that I'm not interested. It's just not something I'm
Well,
super
I'll
knowledgeable about.
I'll tell you very briefly. Uh, the I guess the massive renovations I've been going through, if you want to use that word.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of house moving, right? Um, yeah. Well, let's just say, in regards to the Exodus, before I interviewed Dr. Falk, or even before I even got that book of his, The Ark of the Covenant, or even before I knew about him, I I was on the fence in regards to the dating of the Exodus. That's the first thing for me was the dating.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember IP coming out, with his Exodus thing. He was defending an early date. I know that there were conservative scholars, like obviously one of my favorites in the Old Testament field, that like let's say Gleason Archer, Walter Kaiser, those guys, that held to the 1446 BC date. And I don't know, when I came across other scholars like Walton, Heiser, those guys, they were going for the late date theory, and I'm a huge fanboy of those scholars, and so um, I was just like, hang on, but they are also Exodus affirming, and the arguments they're presenting makes a lot of sense, and practically all nearly all, I suppose, but a large majority of Egyptologists, if they were to, even if they don't have to accept the story, but if they were pressed, like what was the fare of the oppression and the Exodus and so on, like specifically the Exodus would be Ramses the Great, so um, that's what they would say. And one of my favorite Egyptologists is Bob Breyer. I don't know if you know who he is, but
Mm-mm.
I recommend you check him out. Robert Breyer. Um, he released a couple of courses for the Great Courses on
Okay.
ancient Egypt. And the fascinating thing about him is that in that course, so if you go Bob Breyer Ancient Egypt with Great Courses, it'll come up. But in that course, he says, specifically on the lecture on Moses, um, he could use only the science of hieroglyphs to establish a connection to the Exodus story, which I found really fascinating. Like, you mean to tell me just with knowledge of hieroglyphs and Egypt alone that you will know that you can come up with an Exodus story that you see in the Exodus, in the book of Exodus? And his method is, yeah, because there's a lot of Egyptian loanwords in Exodus, and if you were to pull them out, forget all the other Hebrew terminologies and all that. If you were to pull out just the loanwords, you'll see that this fits it fits beautifully with a 19th dynasty period, which is the late date theory. Um, so I was on the fence, and I even told IP, I was like, look, privately he was approaching me, like, can you review this? And I'm like, yeah, the details seem fascinating and great, but all the sources he was using for that video, like that particular book that's titled "Did I Not Bring You Out of Egypt?" It's a compilation by Hofmeyr and all of them. Uh, so he's using Hofmeyr, who is a late date proponent, and that's what confused me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know he's using Hoff because obviously Hofmeyr believes in the Exodus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, hey man, I think you really need to reconsider the early date. And so then that's when David Falk came out and did that
Mm-hmm.
review. And then that's how I knew about Falk. And so then, long story short, I interviewed him, got his book, just absolutely blown away by what he has to share about the Ark. Basically, scholarship that was originally hinted at the Exodus conference in 2013 at the University of California, UC San Diego, I think it is. I could get that wrong, but I mean, is that a thing? Is there a UC San Diego?
Maybe. I don't. I know there's like. I'm sure there is, but whether or not that's like. I know there's. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah,
like.
no,
If,
there is, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sweet. So they had like this 2 or 3 day massive conference, which I I compiled into two 12-hour videos on my channel. And in there's a guy, an Egyptologist, his name is Scott Noeagle, I think it is, where he uh, gave a talk. Can you imagine giving an Exodus talk only on furniture? Like, that's it. and it sounds boring, right? Like the furniture of Egypt. But he brought up the Ark of the Covenant and the furniture stuff that you see in the Exodus book, and then I just found it really fascinating. And then obviously David Falk, who does specialize in that, um, has written this whole book on it, and so then I had him on. I and basically during that live stream, live, like raw, like it was a raw moment. Everyone saw me finally. Basically, he converted me live to the late
Yeah,
date.
but I remember I watched that stream. I actually like I
Yeah,
can recall like because you really like realizing like the early date just isn't what you thought it
yeah,
was or whatever, and him
yeah.
explaining it very very
Because
well.
it was so weird because I'm on the fence, and it's being presented to me that the early date is a conservative position. And then
Mm-hmm.
Falk is like, actually, it's the other way around, believe it or not. And I know that sounds really news to you, but trust me, it
Yeah.
is. It's just, I'm like, what? To be conservative is to have the late date? And yeah, um,
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff
yeah,
he says, like especially like the loan words and like his Ark book with all like the Egyptian influence and stuff, like that's really really powerful. It's just like something with the Exodus that I've noticed in myself. It just seems like such a complicated topic that I just like outside of like what a few people are saying. I just have such
mm,
limited knowledge that I just like don't make a say I have. I don't really like form an opinion for myself just because
mm, yeah.
it's just a lot,
So,
you know.
so then that's the thing. Since you're familiar with everything Falk has to say, I would just here's a good opportunity with Maggie. Just have her voice, like get everything off her chest.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
in other words, you just do an interview, right? Like just how you do any other interview,
She said
and
she was
just
gonna
and
bring some slides and stuff too.
yeah,
So
and then just see what she has to say, and then basically you compare notes because you already know what Falk
exactly.
has to say. And um, speaking of which, if you saw that interview I had, do you remember me screen sharing a video clip of a guy talking and
Maybe I
and
feel like it
asking
was a little.
Falk to review that? Like, what do you think of this? What this guy's saying? So that was Bob Ryer.
Okay.
So I wanted to because Bob Rye is known as like the granddaddy of Egyptologists,
Okay.
presently living. So yeah, and basically folk affirmed everything he's saying. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It seems like you and him have been getting along pretty well. I think it's pretty cool seeing like his
Yeah.
channel's doing pretty well
Yeah.
too.
yeah. I just thought, you know what, he's coming. He's sort of new on the scene on YouTube land, and I just thought this guy is just unbelievably intelligent with the things he knows, and so
And he's
I took
funny.
it upon myself to help him like make a GoFundMe and
Okay,
just help
nice.
him out with that, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's funny too. He's him and his
Yeah.
popcorn when he's like reviewing videos.
Did you see my title that I asked him to read out?
Yeah, yeah, I actually did.
God, popcorn,
Yeah.
Girl Crush. Like,
He was like, "What is this?" He didn't even know what to say. Yeah, I actually did see that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, if nobody else has anything in the channel, I'll probably head out here pretty soon. But yeah, I appreciate you coming by, Rob, and
worries,
everybody in the chat. Yeah, like I said, next week I'll have that, and then there's a few more interviews I'm working on doing and some videos I'm working on making. But I don't want to share too much because I want to make promises I can't hold to. But yeah, I'm trying. I got a few big names that I'm trying to get on, but just working things out is difficult. But
mhm.
stick around, everybody. Yeah, I don't think there's too much. Yeah, with that I'll probably head out, but I'll still be in the StreamYard. I'm not gonna leave that quick. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I know this was just like a random little thing I did, but yeah, just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's subscribed. And if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, I seriously doubt it. So I'm not even gonna say you should subscribe because I can't imagine you've stuck around for an hour of just rambling without subscribing. So thank you everybody, and with that, I'm out of here.